A lot of people are scared of crocodiles, and there are good reasons for that, as you can imagine. These types are often aggressive. They frighten you with their appearance, with their massive teeth and huge size. And sometimes crocodiles get so big, it's hard to believe they exist. Today you guys will see some crazy ass crocodiles. You're watching Infinity, and we're gonna show you what a giant one-armed Crocodile Brutus looks like. And we'll also show you some more scary looking massive reptiles. Get ready and let's roll. Brutus. Here he is, Brutus, the main hero of this issue. As you can see, Brutus is a huge crocodile. He's about 5.5 meters long and weighs over a ton. Even by the crocodile standards, Brutus is an old-timer. He's already 90 years old. Very few crocodiles live to be 90, 100 years of age. Brutus lacks a few teeth. He lives in Adelaide River in Australia. He's one of the most famous animals in Australia, so it happens. This is due to both his old age and enormous size, and also his unusual looks. Thing is, Brutus only has one foot. That's right, he only has 3 limbs. Some say that he lost his right arm in a fight with some savage shark, which by the way he managed to defeat. Although this theory has never been proven, it's kind of a legend for tourists now. Most people are absolutely sure that Brutus can kill a shark very easily. He often gets into fights with his neighbor, the Dominator, another giant crocodile. Like in 2019, some tourists filmed yet another one of their battles. The footage shows Brutus attacking and biting the Dominator, and then a fight begins. Reptiles bite each other several times and then swim in separate directions. Either way, the shark story works well because hundreds and even thousands of people from all over the world come to the Adelaide River. They want to see the legendary crocodile with their own eyes and make sure that it is indeed as huge as they see it in pictures that many people believe to be nothing but Photoshop tricks. If you have any doubts, feel free to visit, guys. It's true that there are a great many giant reptiles on our planet, and Brutus is just one of them. Let's take a look at a few more really big crocodiles. Some truly big specimen indeed. Gamek. Gamek was a giant crocodile, once considered to be one of the largest in the entire world. Its length was 5.42 meters and he weighed about 860 kilograms. Born in 1970, Gamek was caught by George Craig in Papua New Guinea. In 1985, the giant was transported to Florida, where he was put in St. Augustine Zoo Farm, where he became a real star and a favorite for many tourists. Over the course of several years, he amazed the audience with his rapid movements, and what's even more amazing, his patience with people. Gamek allowed people to feed him and allowed them to come close to him. He was a favorite of both owners of the farm and tourists. Sadly, Gamek died of a heart disease in March 1997. At the time of his death, he was about 80 years old. You could say he was already a very old crocodile, although one of the largest ones and most tame that was kept in captivity. Soon a monument was erected in his honor. Another pair of crocodiles, Maximo and his female friend Sydney, live there now. Lolong. Several years ago, a crocodile by the name of Lolong was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest crocodile ever kept in captivity. According to the officials, it was 6.16 meters long and weighed about 1.075 kilograms. The huge Lolong lived in the waters near the city of Bunawan in Philippines. In September 2011, this monster was caught by a group of local residents, hunters, and authorities. Catching this giant wasn't an easy task. The entire hunt turned into a 3-week full-scale operation with several dozen people taking part in it. First, locals simply tracked down Lolong. Then they caught and moved him. After that, they threw nets over him, which, by the way, they had to do twice as the giant tore those to pieces. As a result of those efforts, the crocodile was still caught and put at ease. That's when they gave him his name, Lolong, in honor of the hunter who was in the search party after the crocodile, but sadly died of a heart attack the day before his capture. In the fall of 2011, the entire country spoke about the capture of the beast. And people's opinions differed. Some believed that the crocodile should be returned to his native area. Others argued that Lolong was too dangerous due to his size, so he must have been taken into custody. The mayor of Bunawan agreed with the latter proposal. That mentioned Lolong's departure from society so that it couldn't do any harm to people. Lolong was soon moved to a Philippine zoo where he immediately became famous. 2 years later, Lolong died of a heart attack that was caused by pneumonia. At the time of his death, the giant crocodile was about 50 years old. Dominator. Now check out the Dominator, that very neighbor of Brutus. Like Brutus, he lives in Adelaide River in Australia. This monster is over 6 meters long and weighs over a ton, so he's actually larger than Brutus. This giant got his name for a reason. He is, in fact, a dominator, and he dominates Adelaide and terrifies the river inhabitants, as well as the tourists, of course. As we already mentioned, fights between these two big boys used to happen very often. Some people even think that the shark story is a complete nonsense, and that Brutus lost his limb in the battle against Dominator. I should say that this assumption sounds quite logical, since it is believed that no other crocodile has ever defeated Dominator in a battle. That's why locals are trying to separate Brutus and Dominator in order to prevent a possible tragedy. But despite of all the precautionary measures taken, they are still confident that sooner or later the younger Dominator will defeat Brutus in a serious conflict over their mutual territory. CASSIUS. CASSIUS, yet another giant crocodile on our list. This one is 5.48 meters long and weighs 998 kilograms. Just imagine. But what's even more surprising is the fact that CASSIUS is over 110 years old. So he's indeed a long liver. CASSIUS lived in captivity for a very long time, but in 1984 he was finally caught in Australia. From 1987 till now he was kept in the Marineland Crocodile Park in Green Island in Australia. Before he was caught, CASSIUS lived in the Finniss River in northern Australia, where he managed to lose his frontal limb and part of his tail in fights with his rivals. In his native river, CASSIUS attacked local boats several times. It's no wonder that the local hunters didn't want to coexist with such a dangerous animal. By the way, he was called CASSIUS in honor of Cassius Clay, the legendary boxer and a multiple world champion, who was known all over the world under his stage name Muhammad Ali. We should also say that Cassius's diet is the one worthy of a champ. In 2011, this crocodile was put in the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest saltwater crocodile ever kept in captivity. BUJANG SENANG. BUJANG SENANG is a man-eater crocodile that dominated the Lupar River in Malaysia from 1941 to 1992. This reptile was about 5.88 meters long, weighed over a ton, and had a distinctive white stripe along its back. BUJANG SENANG started attacking people when he was just born and continued to do that up until his death. For several decades, at least 13 people have become his victims. Locals have a kind of a legend that explains the crocodile's severe aggression. According to the story, the warrior by the name BUJANG SENANG once lived in the same area. He became a victim of his wife and asked the gods to turn him into a crocodile so that he could take revenge on his killer and her offspring. The crocodile was a huge problem for the local villagers. They tried to catch him and get rid of him forever. They even got help from the local authorities, who made many attempts to capture the man-eater all throughout the beast's life. Even snipers and professional hunters tried to get rid of the crocodile. One of the hunters even said that he managed to injure the beast, but a giant reptile towed his boat and then pulled the harpoon out of its body. Several times they tried to blow up BUJANG SENANG with grenades, but that just didn't seem to work. It took 2 squads to kill the crocodile. One of the squads was distracting the beast, and the other 3 people shot the crocodile using an enormous amount of bullets. Only then he died. He was a very tough nut to crack. Now the giant skeleton is resting in the museum. Gustav. Gustav is another one of those very dangerous man-eaters who was even more severe than BUJANG SENANG. Gustav is a Nile crocodile. He lives on the banks of the Rusizi River in the northern shores of Lake Tanganyika in Burundi. According to authorities, in the past few years alone, over 500 people have been killed. Although the actual number of victims is difficult to calculate. This crocodile became a kind of myth among the locals. Everybody who lives in the area knows about the crocodile, and they are all very much afraid of it. And because Gustav was never caught, nobody knows his exact weight and length, but according to some sources, its length may vary from 6 to 7.5 meters, and the weight might exceed 1 ton. So Gustav is most probably the largest crocodile found in Africa. Due to his enormous size, Gustav can't move very fast, so he normally prefers to sit in an ambush where he waits for his victims like buffaloes and hippos. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe and press the bell to stay in touch. Also check out some more of our videos. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.